See, throat, no, you need to gargle and give your throat a lot of rest. But neither I'm able to do gargle, nor I'm able to give my throat rest. And I hate cough syrups. I hate cough syrups. I hate entire medicine only. I don't want to, consume medicines, and cough syrups makes you so drowsy, so drowsy.
यस मैम, वो 7 बजे वाली क्लास भी कैंसिल हो गई.
वो मेरी ही थी ना.
यस मैम, वही बता रहा हूँ.
उसमें मुझे ज्यादा बोलना. The questions were very good. There were some questions of figures of speech and all of that. तो उसमें मुझे ज्यादा समझाना पड़ता, फिर मेरे ना गले में बहुत दर्द हो जाता था. तो मैंने ही उसको नेक्स्ट वीक करूंगी. मैं दिया, सबने मॉक दिया है तुम लोगों ने.
मैम ऐसे तो शायद केवल 12 बच्चे दिए और सबका प्री बोर्ड चल रहा था.
Okay, just a minute. Okay. Okay, got it. Chats में किसने क्या क्या भेजा है? Currently in the process of shifting house, so I'll be able to switch my camera. Suryansh, you're shifting house with family, or like you are as a PG or something living?
Yes, ma'am, with family.
That's right. You do a lot of work.
Yes, ma'am.
Swollen throat, tonsils, oh baba. It's all right. Okay, guys. See, today was supposed to be a GD class. Rather, it is a GD class. But the thing is, you do not get to perform in GDs. They do not ask for GDs any which ways these days. It is either VAT or PIs or both, but not GDs. But the kind of exposure you get in GDs and the kind of dynamics GD holds is very important as an exposure. So you get to interact. See, when I am only speaking, I will not realize that how limited or how broad the spectrum I am covering, and whether I am just prepared for the points I have, or I am also prepared for the points if somebody counters me. So when it is a GD, you get a better and a bigger exposure because somebody may counter you, and then you will be in a position to realize and evaluate that, okay, whether my content is strong enough to give the answers to the counters also, or I'm just prepared the way I have perceived the content. So GD is a very, very broad spectrum. आपको बहुत सारे दूसरे का पर्सपेक्टिव सुनने में आता है, दूसरे का पर्सपेक्टिव समझने में आता है. ठीक है प्रेरित, ओके. पर्सपेक्टिव समझ में आता है. इवन बहुत सारे MBA कॉलेजेस लाइक SP Jain and all, अब वो ग्रुप इंटरव्यूज भी कराने लगे हैं, so that they get to know your take on somebody else's perspective. So there are like 3 people sitting in the group interview, and one question will be asked, one person is speaking, and suddenly that person will be asked to stop. Okay, you stop, you continue from where he has left. तो अब आपके लिए प्रॉब्लम ये हो जाती है कि पहले तो आपने उसको सुना है कि नहीं, आप उसे अग्री करते हो कि नहीं, या जितना उसने कवर कर लिया उसके बाद whether or not there is some content left for you to speak. He might have covered all the content that you had prepared, right? तो GD में वही होता है, आपका पॉइंट था, आपसे पहले किसी और ने बोल दिया, सो नाउ यू आर शॉर्ट ऑफ कंटेंट. आप किसी पॉइंट से डिसएग्री कर रहे हो, तो आप उसको काउंटर तो कर रहे हो, लेकिन काउंटर करने के बाद में पता चला कि ओके, यू वर नॉट स्ट्रांग इनफ, योर पॉइंट वाज नॉट स्ट्रांग इनफ टू काउंटर. व्हाई? बिकॉज योर फैक्ट्स वर नॉट करेक्ट, और योर होराइजंस वर नॉट दैट वाइड कि उसने आपके काउंटर को पल में flat कर दिया. So it gives you a better perspective, it gives you chances to interact with a lot of people, gives you their vision and the analysis of their vision. आपको ज्यादा लोगों को चॉप करने का मौका मिलता है. If you are a very good debater, it's very good. It's very good कि single-handedly, suppose there are 10 people in a GD and you're the only person who's speaking for the motion, and there are 9 people who are trying to pounce on you with every point they have, and then you single-handedly turn out as to be the hero of the GD, and you're handling every person's counter arguments, and you're chopping their arguments, and you're giving them your perspectives, your versions. You have so much of content to pour, you have your facts and figures and data and stats correct and in place, and you are not getting aggressive also because there are 9 people pouncing on you with their points. You're maintaining your calm, cool and composure. So it's very good. It's very good. And as a speaker, GD और डिबेट, दो चीजें जितनी चैलेंजिंग होती हैं और जितना एक्सपोजर प्रोवाइड करती है उतना कोई नहीं करता. बट येस, यू हैव टू कीप दिस इन माइंड कि आपको ये एकदम पार्लियामेंट हाउस या न्यूज चैनल डिबेट नहीं बनाना है ना. हमको पैरेलली एक के ऊपर ऑन टॉप ऑफ द अदर नहीं बोलना है. वी हैव टू लेट द अदर पर्सन स्पीक ऑल्सो. Guys, please switch on your cameras. It's an interaction session. How can you debate with a person without even switching on your cameras? Don't seek my permission as if you guys are very good girls. Seeking my permission. Okay, switch on your cameras. And because it is a first session, I'll let you guys be. मैं पहले आपको नहीं बताऊंगी कि what should be the dynamics और आपको कैसे बोलना चाहिए और क्या करना चाहिए. I'll let you guys be. I'll let you guys go with the flow. Pour your content. लड़ो, कटो, मरो behind the cameras. जो कर सकते हो करो. But don't stop speaking. You have to, butcher the person with your arguments and with your points. I want to see how blatant and brazen you guys can become. बट पॉइंट रेलिवेंट होना चाहिए. शुरुआत के लिए बस 2 चीजें ही बताऊंगी. Whosoever is starting to speak, please establish and explain the topic nicely. अगर किसी को टॉपिक नहीं समझ में आया, he might have good content to pour, but हो सकता है उसको टॉपिक डिकोड करने में डिफिकल्टी हो. अभी ऐसा नहीं होगा क्योंकि टॉपिक बहुत सिंपल होगा. बट जनरली व्हेन यू आर इनटू अ जीडी, you should and if you're opening, you should open the GD in such a manner where the topic has been explained really nicely and you are in a position to give the dynamics ki like this is the topic and this are the areas where this GD can be discussed upon, so that we can get a clearer picture and a better version of this topic. तो एवरीबडी विल स्पीक. कोई कहीं से भी सपोज मृग्या ने ओपन किया तो मृग्या के बाद भाव्या है, नंदिनी है, एनीबडी कैन पिकअप. और अगर 2 लोगों ने साथ में पिकअप किया तो अपने आपस की एनर्जीज को देख करके डिसाइड करना कि हु विल बैक आउट एंड हु विल कंटिन्यू स्पीकिंग. दैट एंटायरली डिपेंड्स अपॉन यू. और अगर दोनों साथ में ही बोलते गए तो ठीक है, देखने में तो ज्यादा मजा आएगा उसको. बट हाँ, ज्यादा फिश मार्केट हो जाएगा, देन आई विल इंटरवीन. अदरवाइज आपको सारी फ्रीडम है. Be as bossy as you can, be as rude as you can, be as good and as यार ज्यादा बोलने लगते हो तो खांसी आने लगती है. Okay, we'll start. 5 minutes for you to think, 15 minutes for you to debate. The topic is women empowerment is just a terminology. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Could you please repeat the topic?
Women empowerment is just a terminology. (5:45) by my watch. 5:50 will start. Okay, guys, time up. Shall we start the discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody can take up. Ready, steady, po. कोशिश सब लोग अपना कैमरा ऑन रखेंगे और जिसके कैमरे में प्रॉब्लम है या कोई और अदर इशू है दैट्स ऑल राइट बट प्लीज ट्राई दैट व्हेन यू आर स्पीकिंग योर कैमरा इज ऑन डजंट लुक नाइस Hana you are interacting and the voice is coming the camera unless and until it's a genuine reason that's all right so Ryansh का reason ठीक है नंदनी के कैमरे में ग्लिच आ रहा है but when you are speaking your camera should be on
Excuse me, ma'am.
the point of discussion okay start anybody can begin the topic
Excuse me, ma'am.
हाँ जी
Ma'am, anyone can start.
anyone जो भी टॉपिक के बारे
May I start?
में can start
To begin with, I would quote the words of Hillary Clinton when she said that women are the largest untapped reservoir of the talent.
Hmm.
So, good evening, my friends. The topic which we have got to discuss is that the women empowerment is just only live in words. So, first of all, ma'am, I do not completely agree with this with your words with the topic. Because there are numerous instances in the world where we have seen that women have really come out of this society, or the prison which the society has formed, and they have set new heights. When I would quote the example of Sarojini Naidu, who has contributed a lot in our independence struggle, Miss Indira Gandhi, and we know that how the role of her in the creation of Bangladesh. And when then I would say about the Draupadi Murmu only, she is from the tribal community. So I completely do not agree with with the topic. However, I think that there is a lot more to be done in this field because what really affects is the mindset of the society, the education of the girl child, its upbringing and all. So ma'am, this is my view.
pick up somebody
May I say now?
don't seek permission just go randomly bhi chale jao
My name is Sarthak Sharma, and even I don't agree with your words. I'd say that there are various steps that have been
okay
taken by
guys
the.
just a second okay agree disagree everything is fine you are entitled to take a stance of your own but before that what is your perspective about the terminology what does women empowerment stands for what does the topic explains if somebody can elaborate the topic मैंने पहले ही बोला था try elucidating and explaining the topic and then open the dynamics of the GD and then later you can take your stand लेना कहीं नहीं जा रहा है agree disagree बहुत जल्दी हो जा रहा है थोड़ा सा right तो थोड़ा सा उसको explain करने में believe करो उसके बाद you can take your chance okay Sarthak go ahead and if you can switch on the cameras please doesn't look nice There are not 7, 8, 9 students only in the class. Now everybody is there. We are interacting. How can you interact keeping your, not showing your face, keeping your cameras off? Chalo, bolo Sarthak.
Actually, my dash cam is not working. So
Theek hai. It's a genuine problem, then that's all right. Chalo.
So women empowerment is generally about raising the voice of the women that are in the society. Very steps that have been taken by the government to educate them, to increase their literacy and to increase their awareness. And there are various steps such as giving quotas to women in government jobs and also in corporate companies. And today many women are taking part in even in the Indian military jobs. Recently, we have heard the name of a fighter pilot called Avni Chaturvedi, who became the first fighter pilot to fly a Rafale in the V Garden exercises in 2023, happening in Japan in 2023. So I certainly like to say this only.
Okay.
Ma'am, may I say?
Please don't seek permission. Go for it.
Ma'am, also I'll switch on the camera, but I don't know, something is wrong with it today. Okay. Okay, so I would start by saying that feminism or women empowerment can be confused by the terminology in the society that women do not need men. A woman is a gender who is quite superior to men, which is not showcased occasionally. But what I would like to say on it is a misconception. Women empowerment basically means that women should be kept at pace with the men in the society. They should have their equal rights and an equal social outlook of people towards themselves. And there should be no prejudice whether it's a male or a female, it just means creating them both at a similar level in the society. So we have laws, we have different outlooks, we have opinions of people, we have education schemes. So this basically is going, it's not actually going to create empowerment. It is just creating a level. The government is basically creating a level that women should be equal to men, but these are the basic rights that any human being, except the gender, should have. And empowerment basically would mean when the social outlook of society would change and their opinions would change for the women.
Okay. Okay. Next.
Good evening, ma'am. Am I audible? Hello.
Go.
Yes, ma'am. So everyone have already said that what is women empowerment, but I would like to add some more points. Like, yeah, it is all about self-worth and etc. But women are not getting the resources they deserve. Like in many cities and many places in India, they are not connected to the internet. Like as we can see in rural areas, they don't have the these resources, like freedom to education and things like that. So the women can be a great leader, but how can they be a great leader without having these things, without having a connection with internet and education? So we should work on these things. Okay, ma'am.
So I think that the government should provide all these necessities to the people in the rural areas. It's not the problem of the village people that they don't have the basic necessities.
Exactly. Like they don't have English medium even now. Last month I visited my hometown near Varanasi, and I saw many guys traveling like 20 or 40 kilometers just to go to their college, and all of them were Hindi medium. So I think that's the problem. Government should do something, and yeah, they can make a big difference. Women are great leaders, as we can see in our house.
But isn't that the problem for both men and women in the rural areas? How it is like basically contributing to the problem?
Actually, men can go in cities for studies. Like I'm also from a small town. I'm from a city in Bihar. But 6 months ago, I came to Noida. But every woman cannot do this. Like it's for safety reasons and other things. Like I'm a single child. If I would be a girl, I am sure that my parents would have not sent me to this city alone.
No, but that's a subjective experience. No, how is that a woman problem?
I understand. I think I understand what you're saying, but yeah. I think you yourself mentioned that you saw girls walking like 20 kilometers to reach the school. Yeah. So that is obviously not something relating to particularly the women of the particular rural area. I think it's about overall that the rural area cannot afford schools over there. So I think it's
about the basic amenities of a particular area. Basically, this point has nothing to do with the terminology women empowerment. And I guess nobody has still touched the latter part of the topic, which is it is still a myth. Women empowerment is just a terminology. It's just, it's just in words. It's not being practiced. So somehow the latter part of the topic has not been touched yet. You guys are, navigating somewhere else only.
And we cannot say that government has not done anything in this particular field. And the schemes like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, reservation in the parliament, panchayati samitis, and all these. So we cannot say that government has not done anything.
Very important point in a country like India, where forget women, rivers, trees, and stones are also and animals are also worshipped. In a country like India, where women are given so much extreme supremacy, importance, grace, and dignity, in that country, if we have come down to this level that in order to curb and stop female feticide, we have to start programs like Beti Bachao, and in order to give women the basic, very, very basic fundamental right of education, we have to launch schemes like Beti Padhao. Then where are we heading? Aren't we all doomed? Aren't we all astray? And then we talk about women empowerment at the same time. It's just a myth. It's just a terminology. It's just in words. There is no action. It's not executed. It's not on the ground level. We are just talking and boasting.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I was saying. Like it's just people are saying that if you look a few years back, they today we can see they are having Hindi medium, but before few years they didn't have any colleges. So these schemes are not fully executed in these cities.
But the problem here is just about the rural education, no?
It's everywhere.
The main point isn't being portrayed.
Ma'am, I would like to mention something. Firstly, it is that, yeah, we are at a position where we need these government schemes and stuff, because like the condition of women in India is not that great. I think the actual women empowerment will come when we will not need these schemes.
Well, I guess not just limiting ourselves to India, but even women on a global scale also, women are always deprived of opportunities as compared to men. With women empowerment, we literally mean equal opportunities for both the genders. Okay, we understand I'm not saying that, if let me see if I can punch someone as hard and as strong as a man can. No, we are not talking about the biological constitution, but by women empowerment, I'm talking about the equal rights and equal opportunities. Be it any industry, women are always deprived of opportunities, rights, and positions. You see, take Bollywood. A hero can act as a hero for 50 years, 55 years, but as soon as a woman starts aging, or nearly reaches middle age, she starts getting the role of a woman, of a mother, of an elder sister, or at least not as a lead role. So why she is deprived? If a man can be a lead hero even when he attains the age of 50, 55, why can't a woman? Why can't he be paired with somebody who's of the same age? But no, women will start getting these demarcations very early. So that is where the opportunities and where the enterprises starts decreasing when it comes to women.
I think the main issue here is
21st century. I think that women are taking initiative steps to uplift this economy, and it's a hard nut to crack, but they are trying hard to make their position higher than men and speak for themselves so that they get their own position and they be the higher.
I definitely agree. They are trying hard to get not higher positions, but at least equal positions as men hold. Like if you see in any company, if a woman is expected to get a promotion, she will have to cross so many questions. Okay, what distance she travels to come to the office, she won't be able to manage. Okay, she has a lot of family responsibilities, she won't be able to concentrate on the office that much. She has to pass so many hurdles. But why isn't a man judged on so many grounds and criteria? If a man can do the house and the family and other financial and social responsibilities equally well and still be a CEO of the company, why can't a woman be? Why she has to go through all these questions? Why she is not given that opportunity to prove herself and carve a niche and break that glass ceiling for herself just because she's a woman?
It is because I think of the hierarchy of the male dominance, that women is less than men and they will be, it's not safe for them to walk at night or walk alone. It's not safe for them. So they ask a lot of questions. They always keep the women lower than men and always try to pull them down so that they don't achieve something that men has already achieved.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with this point. They are not allowed to do many things. As much
even if in order to maintain that, to reduce that gender disparity, we have women quota at certain places. So even if somebody who's worthy of that position, be it in a college or be it in a job, a woman seeks that position, she often has to face that criticism. Oh, okay, you are here because of the quota. Oh, okay, you are here because of the reservation. She is often misinterpreted and undermined, that she does not holds the capacity and she does not holds the mettle to be at that place, and rather she is at that place because of the reservation and the quota assigned to the gender.
Ma'am, don't you
That's
think
very
we should
unfair.
remove
takes her as the
female
women
quota
card.
from colleges altogether, because it implies somewhere that women need some special aid to compete with men, whereas it is just because a lot of more men apply for higher colleges, and they are pushed through society to compete more for these higher positions.
Okay, if I'll start speaking now, तो I will only cater to all the points. बहुत सारे points अभी हैं जो मैं अगर बात करूंगी तो मैं ही बोल दूंगी. I want those points to come from you.
I think the main
I
issue
think
about
it
women
is
empowerment in India is the social outlook mainly. We usually in an Indian society or anywhere in the world, the society usually deems the men as the ruler, as the leader of the households, then women as the slaves of the household. This is why this has gave rise to a male ego in the society and a misogyny in the society, that women are not supposed to be above men. So opportunities are present. The government is trying hard to
Yes,
give opportunities.
I would like to second Shivam on his point. It's not always about the mindset. It's always also about the value system that we inherit, because a woman is expected to, even if she's given those opportunities to step out of the house and work for herself and go out and make a name fame for herself, still she's expected to come back home and cook and take care of the family and cater to the needs of her children. But a man is not expected to do so. That is all about the mindset and the value system we have been nurtured with. Why only a woman is expected that even if she's going out and working, she should come back and cook? Sudha Murthy once said that you cannot be asking for a woman who makes thepla, papad and achar and a woman who is an Indra Nui at the same time, and both in one woman. You have to choose whether you want somebody who cooks hot rotis and thepla, papad, achar for you, or whether you want somebody who earns as equally as you and contributes in the financial system of the house. You got to choose one. You cannot be asking for both. You cannot have the best of the both worlds.
Exactly.
So the change in the outlook and the change in the mindset is what we desperately crave at this moment, because we are nurtured with this mindset that a woman is expected to look after the household and the people and the children. A man doing certain things and the man doing the chores of the house is not regarded cool, is still not regarded cool in many households in a country like India.
The thing is that usually
this also reminds me of a scene from the film Dil Dhadakne Do, where Manav, he says that I allowed Aisha to run her business.
Yes.
To which his
you
brother,
allow.
I suppose.
Yes, you allow. Who are you to allow her?
He says that why does she need your permission? Allowing someone means you're in a position of authority, and that is not equality. And basically in this scene, a husband brags about the fact that he has allowed his wife to run her own business. And that's where the topic of women empowerment, I feel, gets diluted. Because most of the people, basically most of the males, to be precise, in our modern society, thinks that allowing her wife or her sister to work is a very revolutionary thing to him to brag about.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think so there's anything to brag about, as it's her
That's
own choice.
what.
And
a man gets married to a woman and he thinks that he now has the control, as if the woman is some property or, an appliance that now he can control the mechanisms. He has learned what's the manual and how he can operate her. So that's what the patriarchal society has always been. It's a typical chauvinistic behavior that, men have been depicting so far. They feel that they are in the authoritative position. They feel that they can take the decisions on behalf of the women. And also in some households, even if the woman is earning handsomely and is very literate and has proved her mettle, still she is not allowed to take the financial decisions all by herself. She has to either inform her spouse or take permission, but she's not entitled to take the financial decisions entirely all by herself.
I would like to add that who are we to allow our woman to contribute to something. Like if he or she is married to us, that doesn't mean that you are boss of his or her. Who are we to allow? It's her choice. If she wants to do, she will.
To add on that, ma'am, it is like a very general example we can talk about. Even if a woman has a great education. She is expected to get married at a young age, for example, like 25 or so. While at the same
Because
level,
we
if a
don't
man
consider
is
a woman settled till the
Yes,
time
ma'am.
she gets married.
Yes, and some in even in urban household or rich household, she is also considered as a liability. And yeah, a very general example, when women go to weddings, and of course there are typical Indian aunties who want, and they do not care about the amount of education you're doing in your life. The only question which pops up is, when are you getting married?
Nandini's frustration is popping out.
I think the main thing
So
about
this is
this
like
is
a very
the
general thing you can see, which also
It is a
showcases the
general
patriarchal
scenario,
society.
and with that terminology of urban households, I'm reminded of that still in the rural areas, a woman is just a child producing machine. She is neither asked about anything, nor given her due rights, nor given her position in the family. She's only supposed to be besides inside the four walls of the house, cook, take care of the family, produce children, and in spite of being her body, she is not entitled for a say that whether she wants to carry the baby or she doesn't. No
Ma'am,
matter.
I believe
actually they do have the right to decide. That's just they're not aware of
They
that.
are not aware of their rights, but still
And I think
the
I read
opinions of the
somewhere about
families are forced. And in spite of being in a position to say no, she doesn't hold that authority to say no.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
That's
one
because
more point.
they're not aware
Uh,
of their rights. They are not able to fight
So
for their
that is what they are not aware of their rights. They are not empowered. So women empowerment is just a terminology to be used and encashed at the time of seeking votes, at the time of presenting India on a global front, at the time of bragging about how we have helped our women to reach sustainable positions. But if you look at the ground level, there are so many loopholes. Women are deprived of the basic rights, basic hygiene. They are deprived of things like toilets, education. It's a fundamental right of any girl. She is not entitled to have that. Female feticide, it is so prominent in the states of Rajasthan and Bihar. So where is that empowerment? Where is that empowerment? It's just
women
Ma'am, I
empowerment
would
is
also
taken to be
like
a
to
positive word wherein it is
houses.
not actually.
Ma'am, when you talk about society
Empowerment
also,
is taken as a positive word wherein it isn't actually, because when we compare earlier in the times, women were given more rights, more priority, more respect, wherein now people are just taking votes, and as you said, it's kind of a myth as it is not implemented.
I would respectfully disagree. Earlier women were given respect. When and how? Earlier women were forced.
ma'am, actually, I kind of agree with her point.
To sit on that pyre and become sati.
And this was in
Ma'am,
Mughal
like
times.
in the ancient times, in the southern region, the Dravidian region, male kings were not that prominent, and it was not a patriarchal society in the south. The rulers were actually women, and it was not a patriarchal society, and they were as they could produce children, they were also seen as the reaper.
But the same rulers practice polygamy.
Ma'am, I think I would completely disagree, because we can't pick and choose examples from the past. Ki haan, yahan pe people were women empowered. Even like in current times, there are women who are doing very good, but that doesn't mean that patriarchy doesn't exist. It was earlier as well, but just pick and choosing some queens or some places which respected the queens more doesn't mean that women were empowered in the previous times.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I like to
It's not
say
about
for
was
women
what
empowerment
happened
as
in
a
the past.
binary,
Basically
because it's
about,
not a binary system for. I completely agree with Bhavya what she said. We have to look at it from a spectrum, which is a whole. So, Aditya was saying something.
Yeah, when we when we compare ourselves to where we were in the past, there's definitely been a lot of improvements. Like in cases of domestic violence, dowry, deaths, or like sati, we are definitely in a better place now than what we were, and we have seen that there have been improvements. There's still a long way to go in our in changing our ideals or changing what we think are traditions. There's still a lot of backward areas which don't have as much freedom as we have now in the more developed areas. So yeah, there is still a long way to go, but it's been significantly better than where we were in the past.
Yeah, that's
Ma'am,
what I
I
said.
in
think
the
I think the
modern
main issue
times,
lies in the opinions of the society. Usually, when a male fights for their rights, they're considered really heroic or a legend. But when a woman does so, she is considered immoral. She is considered disrespectful. So we have to basically change this opinion of the society. That's when women empowerment will really come into the place where we want it, where the government wants it to be. That's where It's opinion, that's where na? women
ma'am,
will
so
be really implemented. To change this opinion, education system should be changed because let's give an example. See, in class 12 business studies, there is a case study from chapter 2nd, principles of management. I don't know how much of you will agree, but that case study always comes that women are not getting promotion because of this reason. But why only women, यार? Men को भी तो कर सकते हो उसमें. Why only women? तो सबकॉन्शियसली हमारे माइंड में यही बैठ जाता है कि वुमेन को नहीं मिल पाता है. हम भले ही हम उस पर डिसएग्री करते हैं, लेकिन सबकॉन्शियसली माइंड में हमारे बैठ जाता है. This is the reason why some of the things are still there in the society.
It happens a lot of books and a lot of exams, but it doesn't happen everywhere. It is a subjective experience, I should say rather. And the root cause I would like to add in this is that we don't question our customs, we don't question our
Very right point. Very right point. We
uh,
don't question our customs. Very right point.
we inherit all those things from our parents and from what we are taught, but we don't question it whether it is right or wrong. And even if we feel that it is wrong, but we don't question it and don't even refute according to it. We say that it is sacred. We say it in the name of religion, in the name of spirituality.
I agree.
But it is actually irrational, I believe. According
I
to
agree.
me, it's totally
I think in today's world, or to be very honest, if anyone even tried to raise their voice against customs, like the few people who are very religious, who act very religious, who believe in these things, they don't even let them speak. They are silenced.
Radicalization is the problem. We need to solve that also. That will be the root cause also of this thing, that we don't question and we accept what we are doing right now. It is what it is. Mentalities arising out of this radicalization. We have to stop this. Somewhere or the other, it is harming all the aspects, not just women empowerment, but all the aspects of the society.
And basically, we have to search to women empowerment. Basically, means social improvement in the country. And social improvement cannot take place side by side with cultural empowerment. I believe the leaders of the religion should implement laws or should change the culture according to the modern society. It is not 1800s anymore. Women should get equal rights and opportunities as men. So I think it's the fault of the religious leaders who are not making the necessary
Why just religious
reforms.
leaders? Okay, you tell me, if have you ever heard a male actor facing the problem of casting couch? It's always the women who has to go through all these things. So where does religious leaders, wrong influences come into picture for such kind of problems?
Because the misogynistic customs that which are implemented in the culturally rich society.
It's not misogynistic culture. It's that women have to give different kind of examinations to prove their mettle just because of the gender they are.
It is believed that men will do much better than women.
Opportunities comparatively easily and without being questioned.
No, ma'am, I don't believe. Ma'am, I think, ma'am, for acting careers, ma'am, your beauty is a very important factor, and when women.
So that beauty has to be tested through casting couch.
Ma'am, I was saying for actors then.
No, how many times you have heard of a male actor facing the problems of casting couch?
Ma'am, wait, I don't know about casting couch.
Casting couch is that the female aspiring actors have to maintain sexual relationships with either the casting director or the director of the movie, or anybody who's acting as a bicholia to help them getting the roles.
Actually, this happens in modeling a lot.
Modeling or any other thing. Right. So this generally is not the problem. And even the pay scale is lesser for women and higher. And not just Bollywood. I was listening to Priyanka Chopra's interview, and she refused a proposal where in the contract the pay scale was mentioned differently for the lead actor and the lead actress. She said, when we both are the lead actors of the series, why that person is getting more than me when we have equal amount of roles? I am as equally celebrated actor as he is. Then why my pay scale is less? So the producer said that females get in this category only. Means this is the bar of the pay scale of females, and she refused. But later, because the director was not able to get somebody as fit as Priyanka Chopra, he, kind of adjusted
He
the
had
pay.
to bring her back.
He agreed to her terms and conditions
Increase the base.
twice, and then Priyanka Chopra finally acted in that series.
I think the work of the state becomes very important in this scenario. First of all, the law and order should be changed. For example, when the uniform civil code should be implemented. And for example, for Muslims, the age is still now 18 in the reality. So, child marriages are also prevalent.
Yeah,
This
and a
thing
lot
should
of
be tackled.
kanuns also they have, where the women is
Child
treated as
marriages
a
are also there
commodity.
in many
If
parts of
Yes,
India
ma'am.
right now.
people say teen talaq has been recently abolished, but earlier, just by reciting 3 words, you can ask a woman to walk out of your life. And then if you have to marry the same woman, you were the person who took this initiative to ask that woman walk out of your life by just uttering 3 words. And that just because you want that same woman into your life back again, that woman has to go and sleep with somebody else and get married and all those rubbish procedures. And then you can remarry her. All that Sharia Kanun and whatever Kanun it is. I do not know, but the name of the Kanun, but yeah.
Sharia only.
Yeah, it's Sharia law only.
Sharia law. Okay. So what is all this? Is she a person or a commodity? Where are her rights?
It's because this is
Her call whether she wants to wear a
Ma'am,
burqa.
I think the problem is because
it's because she is not independent. She has to depend on a family or the other people
But
around
how
the
can she
earning
become
members.
independent when the family will not allow her to, 1, get proper education, 2, walk out of the house for work, 3, do not give her the freedom to work as she wants, like you have to come back by 7 o'clock and the work does not demand so. Then
It's the hereditary
And
parent mindset.
this is why I have to
Ma'am,
change the
I
social
guess for
outlook.
this
This
you
is why
need
I
to
have to
change the
change the
social
religious
this
outlook
is
of the
this is
people.
this
where
is
the religious
why the
leaders come in.
opportunities, the laws, the government, everything should be supportive of an environment where women can not just breed freely but also perform and live freely.
Ma'am, I
I
would like
believe
to
that
state
this
a
mindset
socially
arise
example,
because
like in a modern society as well, remarriage is a normal thing which men and women both go through. But
True.
why is it prejudice towards the woman when she gets remarried? Why is she
Yes, and
judged
when a
by the
woman
people,
gets remarried,
and the
she
men
is
is
judged.
considered as a and the
She
men
is
are
men are
considered
being
as a
judged.
grounds. That's
yeah.
the reason. Correct. I agree.
Ma'am, also when the woman she want to take a divorce, she's asked to just adjust and to maintain the marriage and not take a divorce directly, because you are the one who want to manage the family.
Yeah, because of this social insults and other things.
Ma'am, also when a woman gets married into another house, why is she always told by her parents or by the society that she should not provide her opinions or behave nicely to the in-laws, even if they are against her opinions, and not portray her rights and speak for herself?
Ma'am, I believe this arises because our mainly families have the idea that their son will inherit the family name and wealth, and he will carry on the family name in the future. I think if we could fix this mindset, a lot of these problems, like not investing in the woman's education because she will not carry the family name, it like for them it is useless for her to make her educate. I think if we could fix this, a lot of these problems would automatically go away.
That's where my point about religion comes in now.
I don't
Religious
think
leaders have
I
to.
don't think
No,
religion.
family
Like
name
in
Not
the
only
legal
religion,
sense
the
na.
also,
family name is inherited
I
by
don't think
the
any
family
religious
name.
leader actually dictates how you should follow your religion. Even in India, there are different ways to worship a single god, and I don't think even a single religious figure have
I
so
think
much
not religious, but
dominance
legal
Even
over.
claims can come here because when you say on the part of the legality in India, a child when is
Yes,
born is
even
given
laws
the surname of the father
because
only if the father is dead or he is disapproved by the law. Only then he or she gets the surname of the mother. So I guess this is also a loophole here.
yes, ma'am.
Like
Laws
religion does
are
not comes in
even
place
in
here. I don't think
we
so.
have different laws for different religion, even for property inheritance. Like Muslim women cannot inherit the property of the parents, which is one of the things I just mentioned. Is kind of related to not inheriting the family name and thing.
all of these things around us forcing us to believe that male is the sigma, male is the one who is the breadwinner of the family, and things like that.
Ma'am, I want to conclude one thing, ma'am. Many students are saying that religion, customs in there, but ma'am, custom is not the thing, ma'am. If I will ask anybody that what is the reason behind following that custom, nobody will able to answer that. So
it is their belief.
Yes, it is their belief only, but
their belief is being implemented on the women as well without their choice.
But the religious beliefs sometimes also exist in the law, which they need to follow.
Why don't people
So
believe
that is why the religious leaders have to come in, step in, not to
Don't you guys
reduce
think that
this
women also believe in
gender
this?
inequality.
No, like for example, there are different property laws for Hindus and Muslims, right?
Yes,
Girls can
Hindu law.
inherit the property, but the woman can only inherit property in Muslim law if there is some loopholes or if the man is not present and he or she does not have sons. So that is also implemented at the higher level at the judiciary. So people need to follow. So
Because it
Uniform
is
Civil
the
Code actually comes in use there.
because it is the wish of the it is the wish of the leaders of the religion. That's why it is being implemented. It will not be implemented against the religious leaders' wishes.
If you have ever gone in a satsang and if you have ever listened carefully to that leader, you will listen that he is talking about women empowerment more than you. You are talking now from 2 minutes. He is talking from the centuries about women empowerment. If the thing is that our customs are very good, you will 1,000 years ago they are very good, but now it is the reason they are mixed with the Western culture, and the mix is very bad.
They need
But
both.
I can counter
This is
that
a great
in the Western
misconception.
culture, women have more freedom.
No, this is a
Yes.
total
This is all about
misconception
Western
that
culture.
Indian culture is supreme and Indian culture is very, very rich in everything
Yes,
else.
it
It
is
is a misconception.
It
I
is
don't
rich.
agree
It
with
is
this.
rich. It is rich.
It may be rich,
Yes,
but
it
as a
is rich.
society, we are
It is
evolving.
very rich and diverse.
It is
You Google it. It
change.
is
We
the
can't
richest
blindly
culture.
follow everything
Our
according
culture
to
is the richest.
Honestly, I feel it is a rich culture, but I think every culture has their loopholes, and we cannot deny the
Right.
fact that our cultures also have certain loopholes which need to be worked upon.
We are seeing that our culture has loopholes. We are thinking it because we don't know even about our culture. We don't even think.
But they haven't been worked on through the centuries.
Actually,
We have to work. We will be working till
the
the near.
initial values that were
But
present for not culture, the religion, through centuries, they have been mixed up with our and other people's own opinions, which have given rise to these customs. So
I
basically,
think that
I
is
guess this is the problem is in the
I think
society
that is
and the
natural
people's
because
outlook,
And
custom.
now I would also like
how they perceive.
I would also like for the participants who have not spoken at all should at least pour in some content like Mrigya, Soumya, Asta. Some of you have not spoken at all.
बीच बीच में थोड़ा 2-3 शब्द मैंने बोला था
ना नहीं माना जाएगा.
Ma'am, I think women after getting married are given the option to actually work at home or continue with the job they are working in. So I think while that is not the case with men, I think even after giving birth to a child, they are given the option to quit their job and be busy with a baby, and that is not the same for a man. So I think that is where their belief system comes into play, and that is where I think the social outlook needs to change a lot.
Somewhere in our mind, we have accepted that man is the one who is the breadwinner of the family, and woman who cares the home house like a housewife.
Education can play a very important role in changing this, and also the awareness programs by
Education can
various
play a very important role.
institutions,
True.
non-governmental organizations.
That's
And
not
ma'am, I would
only
like to say the step of BCCI in which it has said that both women and men would get equal pay for their games. So like
But I
these
would
steps
like to
should be
say that
promoted.
education is a main
That
thing,
is
but
not actually
if a
implemented.
person is educated, then also why is it not changing a person's outlook
Because I
on
think,
society, which is actually
I
influencing
completely
this?
agree because like education is very important, but like it's not going to be helpful if the person is going to a school studying about women empowerment, but when they're coming back home, their family is putting a very different world to them. They do not empower women in their homes. So obviously the kid will not get that mindset. Just education cannot change anything until and unless it's the environment in the household as well.
So I think
Ma'am, even if you talk
women
about right
hygiene
now,
also comes into
if
play.
I
Like
ask anyone,
recently,
when
schoolgirl was speaking on something, and she said something about subsidies or price cuts on sanitary pads. The leader suddenly, outburst on her. She said this is immoral and all that. I think political leaders also play a very important role. We have to pay attention to women sanitation as well. We have to improve
Well,
sex
not, I
education
would
as well.
slightly disagree, not political leaders, but yes, policies, if they are made, their execution and their right amount of distribution as blankets should be monitored, because if rights are made, rights should also be distributed equally, and people and women especially should be aware of their rights so that they can exercise them. Otherwise, just making the rights for the sake of making them doesn't serve any purpose on the ground level.
Ma'am, I actually agree, because in India there are many rules people are not aware because they are not being implemented. When you talk about not even rural areas, when you talk about urban areas, we go talk to your elders. Many of them would not have any idea ki what this is, what that is. They literally have no idea. Actually, that is the problem with the outlook of the people, because they are not getting to know anything.
True.
Ma'am, I think women empowerment in true sense will be possible only when women will be able to reach heights even without the quotas, even without like the quotas presented to them. People don't stop them from going where they deserve.
Ma'am, I will conclude one thing, ma'am, that women empowerment, ma'am, I think it is three basic factors. First is the, ma'am, development of the area. We can see, ma'am, in the urban area, metropolitan cities, that, ma'am, women are empowered, and in the some cities, I will say Delhi and Mumbai, they are over empowered.
Over empowered. Delhi is the unsafest of all. They are over empowered.
Yes, ma'am. In Delhi, they are over empowered, ma'am. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Just because they abuse English, they are over empowered.
Yes, ma'am. I cannot fight. Even if I am right, and I cannot.
I got it right. Just because they abuse in English and you cannot retaliate, so they are over empowered. Bah, super, Manish.
That's totally wrong.
Yeah. No, but
तो तू अपनी मातृभाषा में रिप्लाई कर दिया करना, बिंदास.
हाँ तो मैम, मैं तो यही कहता हूँ कि मैम मैं किसी भी विमेन से मैम बहसबाजी भी नहीं कर सकता हूँ कि मैम जैसे मैं सही भी हूँ मैम, तब भी मैं कुछ नहीं कह सकता.
क्यों तू डर जाता है कि वो विमेन कार्ड प्ले कर देंगे?
नहीं मैम, पर पब्लिक है ना मैम.
Bro, they are not over empowered.
तुम्हें लगता है कि वो गीता फोगाट, बबीता फोगाट है कि मतलब वो तुम्हें एकदम
मैम मतलब अगर कोई सही पॉइंट
this is wrong. Then you are undermining your potentials. That means then you are airing something which is incorrect. Don't fan the wrong flames.
नो मैम, पर मैम पब्लिक रिएक्शन मैम सब जानते हैं मैम, कोई कर ही नहीं सकता है.
See, Manish, public these days is very intelligent and very informed. They will gauge instantly that whether the girl is right or whether the boy is right, and aware public will not support something which is incorrect.
ये सब मेंबर्स आजकल हो रहा है कि आजकल रील्स बनना चालू हो गई है विमेन एम्पावरमेंट के अगेंस्ट मैम. विमेन का मीम बनना चालू हो गया है, तभी बॉयज का मीम बनना चालू हो गया है मैम. ये सब आजकल हो रहा है मैम. अगर आप
सोशल मीडिया तक लिमिटेड है, उससे आगे नहीं होता है.
कहीं भी नहीं था.
सोशल मीडिया पे आधी चीजें तो फेक होती हैं.
वही सोशल मीडिया तक लिमिटेड है. वो रियल लाइफ बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. वुमेन और वो सब
मीम तो हर चीज पे बनता है. किस पे?
हाँ, वो सोशल मीडिया को इंक्लूड मत करो. और जो डेली का बात कर रहे हो, उसमें वो एक लेवल पे आने की कोशिश करती है. तुम किसी आदमी से बहस कर सकते हो? नहीं कर सकते हो. वो तुरंत गालियां देने लगेगा या फिर लड़ाई करने लगेगा.
नहीं, मैं कर सकता हूँ, वो कर सकते हैं. दिल्ली के लोंडे सब कर सकते हैं. उन्हें गालियों से मतलब नहीं है. नहीं,
थोड़ा सा तो माइंडसेट तुम्हारा सही बैठता है ब्रो.
Achha, so one second, I would really like to ask you something. So you're saying women in Delhi are over empowered just because you can't fight with them?
मतलब तुम उनसे बहस नहीं कर पा रहे इसलिए वो ओवर एम्पावर्ड है.
इसलिए वो
एग्जैक्टली
कह रहा हूँ कि वो कुछ भी कहें तो वो सही माना जाएगा. वहाँ
क्या कर दिया भाई तुम्हारे साथ?
मैम आजकल सही नहीं माना जाता. अभी पूरी डिबेट में क्या सही है और क्या गलत है.
पूरी डिबेट में we talked about कि अभी
suddenly Nandini's camera also, she could not resist her emotions. Suddenly her cameras are also on, and then she wants to now heads on. She wants to fight. Okay, come on.
So like in the debate, whole debate, we talked about that how women like they are not valued equally, and if she is going out at 8, she's like she needs to be home by this. So I guess this is the most prominent in Delhi itself, because there is so much danger to women in Delhi itself.
Correct.
They are expected to come back home by 8 or 9, the max
Or
timing,
before that.
Unsafe.
or before that. So how is that empowerment? सबसे गंदी चीज तो दिल्ली में ही हो रही है itself.
Exactly.
Safety. It is because of the safety.
तो सेफ्टी भी इसीलिए तो नहीं है क्योंकि एम्पावरमेंट नहीं हो रही है, क्योंकि मेन का आउटलुक अलग है.
नहीं तो फिर तो एम्पावरमेंट हो ही जाएगा, फिर तो दिख ही रहा है. फिर यहाँ पे ये सेफ्टी के लिए हो रहा है, क्योंकि अभी आजकल तो आप देख रहे हो न्यूज में आ रहे हैं कि मतलब यहाँ पे 36 टुकड़े कर दिए, वहां 72 टुकड़े कर दिए, तो वो सेफ्टी तो होनी पड़ेगी ना.
तो सेफ्टी की नीड कहाँ से अराइज हुई? इट्स बिकॉज ऑफ द पीपल्स माइंडसेट. दैट्स व्हाट नीड्स टू बी चेंज्ड. सेफ्टी की जरूरत ही क्यों है एक्स्ट्रा सेफ्टी की विमेन के टुवर्ड्स?
वही सेफ्टी की जरूरत ही क्यों आ रही है फर्स्ट पॉइंट पे?
फिजिकल वाला फैक्टर,
because of some brats whose nurturing and upbringing has been extremely incorrect, and I don't know what DNA code they possess that they become so brutal. I mean, I still understand that, okay, there is some gush of hormones and you cannot control that, but then suddenly becoming brutal after that, I still don't get what planet we all are existing and how cruel and atrocious man at times can be. Right?
This
I
is
just
not
don't
a
get that.
justifiable statement that
Muslim planet. It is only the Muslim planet.
No. Very controversial statement. No.
Could you repeat, ma'am, what did he say?
You can never, ma'am.
He just blamed the community.
आप मुझे बता ही नहीं सकते मैम, किसी मैम अगर हिंदू ने ये किया हो तो आप मुझे बता ही नहीं सकते. एक नाम नहीं आप बता सकते हो मैम, कोई नाम नहीं बता सकते. मैं आपको 10 नाम अभी बैठे बैठे मुस्लिम के बता सकता हूँ. ये controversial statement.
You thank your stars, Manish, for none of them being Muslims here. जितने भी अभी available हैं.
मैम होते भी तो
लाइव स्ट्रीम ऑन YouTube.
हाँ, ये YouTube पे लाइव स्ट्रीम हो रही है.
ये हाल की बात है. अभी लोग आ जाते घर पीने.
Exactly.
No, ऐसा नहीं है. है ना? तूने शाहरुख की मूवी नहीं देखी? My name is Khan and I'm not a terrorist.
नहीं मैम देखी नहीं.
No, it's wrong to blame a community, but yes, there are certain sects which are imparting wrong education, which are imparting wrong knowledge, and because to whom they're imparting are so naive and novice that they do not know how to differentiate between the right and wrong. So at a moment of time, your cognizance should come in that whatever you have understood and whatever you have deciphered, उसमें से क्या आपको practice करना चाहिए और क्या नहीं.
But this doesn't mean we can generalize on a.
और ये जो किसी ने और ये तब होता है
क्वेश्चन
नहीं करते हैं, जो अभी किसी ने बोला था, we just follow these things blindly and we do not question the customs.
I only said this.
Prerit only said.
The problem with custom is that, ma'am, 90% of the customs are made by the people only.
People only. Agreed. And they do keep changing as per their convenience also. Agreed.
They are not the real customs. They are made by the people. They don't know even the meaning, why they are following them, or what is the basic need of
Correct,
them.
because they don't have the inquisitiveness to find out. And no religion, remember that, no religion deprives you of questioning. And that is why religion is an art of living. It is not a set of beliefs and customs. It is an art of living. If Islam teaches you ki alcohol haram hai, so that means it is Islam's way of teaching you to how to stay away from such acts and practices which are not good.
Islam में तो ये भी कहते हैं like कि if a woman is raped, she has the right to kill the rapist. It is also the same.
So because the gurus who have, I don't know whether they have read it or they have not read the scriptures, but they have completely tampered the meaning.
Yes, ma'am.
और वही चीजें चली आ रही हैं. Nobody really, takes the time, energy, effort, and initiative to read it again and decode. No religion and no scriptures teach you wrong. Bible कहती है love thy neighbor as thyself, और हम भी वही कहते हैं आतिथि देवो भव. So scriptures and everything they teach you correct only. It's the godmens in between जिन्होंने काम खराब कर रखा है.
Yes, ma'am. The religion itself is pure, but the leaders of the religion, that was they're spoiling the reputation of the religion. That's where they need to step up.
ऐसे जो कहते हैं कि लड़कियां इतने उत्तेजित कपड़े पहनेंगी तो लड़के उत्तेजित होंगे ही, and still they are the netas. They are still holding the office. They are still into that position.
It's like ना कि nobody wants to take the initiative कि कौन अब जाके लड़े, nobody wants to take that path.
Ma'am, but the
in their
point is
hand.
that the people who are also reading the scriptures again and again and like going into the deep knowledge of that religion or culture, so the other people of that same culture are influencing them, know that you're wrong, we know it and we are right. So what we
Correct. Now religion has come down to the definition of mine is superior to yours. That's it. They have forgotten its real meaning, the real teachings a religion has to provide. It has only come down to the level of mine is superior than yours. Religion gives you the maximum diversity. इतने सारे जो इंडिया में religion और practice, why India is a country of such varied culture and heritage? Because of being secular, number one, and because we have been practicing so many different religions and appreciating each other's religions. But now it has come down to mine is superior to yours. तो बस उसी लिए सारी चीजें हैं. But okay, discussion कहीं और चला गया. But what I was happy about कि suddenly सब active हो गए, सब heated up हो गए, सब participate करने लगे. That was the best part for me. But वो कहीं और चला गया. So women empowerment, yes, to an extent, women have been empowered. They have been given the rights to education. They have been given certain quotas and reservations. Certain, to an extent, yes, women have been empowered. But still, a lot of work is there in the pipeline. A lot of work in progress is still there. And women will not be considered fully empowered unless and until there'll be social changes, there'll be changes in the mindset, and there'll be changes in the outlook of people. Women should be given equal opportunities, equal pay scales. The mindset should change towards looking at women. रात को काम नहीं कर पाएगी, night shift नहीं ले पाएगी, safety का issue है. ये सारी चीजें काम करने की हैं. You have to put in a lot of effort to create an environment. It's not always creating opportunities for women. It's also about creating an environment for women. आप उसको empower कर रहे हो तो उसके लिए वैसे जैसे मैं अपने बच्चों को कहती हूँ कि तुम्हारी your study and everything that affects your study is my business. My business is not only your VARC. My business is anything that affects or hinders your section or your padhai, which actually hinders your preparation and your ultimate goal. तो आप उसको अगर अपॉर्चुनिटी दे रहे तो उस अपॉर्चुनिटी को रीच आउट करने में उसकी जो भी हिंड्रेंसेस है उसको क्लियर करना इज ऑल्सो योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. सो क्रिएट नॉट जस्ट अपॉर्चुनिटीज, राइट्स, बट ऑल्सो एनवायरमेंट एंड एम्बियंस फॉर हर टू ब्रीथ एंड perform very freely, very independently and to the best of her capabilities. बहुत सारी जगहों में तो women के लिए entry ही नहीं होती थी, but now suddenly there are gateways that women can take entries into various professions and fields which were not open for them earlier. So a lot of work is still to be done and we are progressing. We are much better than India was at a time when women were just enclosed behind the four walls. So we have come a long way, yes, but of course the way is too long and we have to cover many more echelons. Okay.
So this last thing, ma'am, I will conclude that, ma'am, it is the best time for women to get empowered because, ma'am, our new president is Draupadi Murmu and that's a woman.
And she's a woman, okay, but फिर वही बात है कि rights बना तो दिए गए हैं, but rights के लिए कितनों को aware किया गया है ना? हम exercise तो तभी करेंगे ना जब हमें पता होगा कि हमारे पास
we need to bring change in laws as well.
Changes in laws, in customs, in traditions, in education, in many other things, in outlook, in many other things.
ये तो बात है, traditions नहीं बदलेंगे. अब बहुत.
अब यार tradition बदला ना, सती right बदला ना. Remarriage of widows badla na.
British had to intervene for that. We didn't change it ourselves. Swami Vivekanand did speak about that, but it was the British who initially took the legal action.
But हटा ना, exactly. Tradition
started.
Maintenance वगैरह भी शुरू हुई ना, तो फिर of course होगा.
Exactly. Okay, it was a good discussion. बहुत बाद में कुछ लोग एक्टिव हुए, but it was a good discussion. But बहुत लोग, सौम्या, मृग्या बहुत कम बोली, दीक्षा एक बार बोली, अच्छा बोली, but कम बोली. Boys ने आज ज्यादा, वैसे लड़कियों को थोड़ा fierce होना चाहिए था. And मृग्या अच्छा बोलती है क्लास में, वाट लगा देती है सबकी. आज पता नहीं क्यों थोड़ा कम बोली, but ठीक है. It was a good healthy discussion. Very nice. We'll continue this. What 2-3 क्लास और जीडी करेंगे, तब उसके बाद then I'll switch to mock interviews and BATs. क्योंकि थोड़ा बोलने में थोड़े एक्सपर्ट हो जाओ, थॉट्स आने शुरू हो जाएं तो बैट में आसानी होगी, इंटरव्यूज में आसानी होगी. सो नेक्स्ट, नॉट नेक्स्ट वीक, नेक्स्ट टू नेक्स्ट वीक अनदर हॉट टॉपिक जिसपे बड़े कंट्रास्टिंग ओपिनियंस होंगे और कंट्रोवर्शियल होगा, तो मजा आएगा. ठीक है
मैम, यूट्यूब पे लाइव स्ट्रीम मत करिएगा, तो मजा आएगा. तब
मजा आएगा. चल ये भी नोटेड आदित्य, तू मुझे याद दिला देना.
मनीष खुल के बोलेगा तब.
मनीष खुल के बोलेगा। मनीष यू बी प्रेजेंट, है ना? ये हाथ वाथ नहीं छोड़ रहा है, एकदम एकदम फॉर्म में आ गया है भाई अपना।
योगी जी की सरकार है। बोलेंगे
वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट कोई रिलीजियस
कहाँ
इशू
लेके
नहीं।
आएगा?
यस मैम, इट्स अ ग्लोबल इशू।
बहुत
मैम
मैम
शायद सब
मैम बहुत से बच्चों ने अभी पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स के बारे में बात करी थी, इसलिए मैं रिलीजन पे आया हूँ मैम। तो पॉलिटिकल लीडर से मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आया कि वो किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लीडर की बात कर रहे हैं कि मैम कभी योगी जी कोई मैम वो कर रहे हो, या फिर वो किसी साधु संत की बात कर रहे हैं मैम जो कि बोलते हैं, जो कि मैम दोनों ही गलत है। तो पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स तो मैम अपनी रिलीजन के बारे में
साधु तो सबसे बड़ा मिथ है आज की जमाने में। देयर इज नो साधु, देयर इज नो संत,
नो साधु,
देयर इज नो साधु।
तो मैम ये वर्ड ही गलत है कि पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स। कोई पॉलिटिकल लीडर मैम है ही नहीं, कोई झंडा लेके थोड़ी ना जा रहा है यहाँ पे, या तो वो मतलब रिलीजियस लीडर नहीं है वो।
पॉलिटिकल लीडर से उसका मतलब ये था कि द लीडर्स हु आर इन चार्ज of running the country, who are into the Indian polity, who are running the economy and the country, उससे उसका वो मतलब था। और ऑफ कोर्स वो है, वही चला रहे ना देश, वही चला रहे, भले वो उसके काबिल हो कि नहीं हो, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट, चला तो वही रहे अपनी जो भी थोड़ी बहुत कम ज्यादा समझ से
वही चला रहे हैं। बट मैम वो रिलीजियस लीडर वाली जो बात आई थी मैम, तो मैं वो नहीं समझ पाया था रिलीजियस लीडर में मैम किसको डिनोट किया जा रहा है।
हाँ करेक्ट करेक्ट।
They are the most influencing people nowadays in the country.
Most influencing. My grandmom, oh Baba, once I was in class 9th and Asaram Bapu's summit was, there in Allahabad. She woke me up at 5:30 ki chalo, you have to take me, Hana, to the summit and I will not get the seat. And I am getting up at 5:30, taking her, parking my vehicle kilometers away, and then, holding her hand, taking her, getting her the entry, making her comfortably sit. And I never liked that Buddha. And when he got arrested, then I was like all, against her, that see, this was the man you were following. And then also she was not ready to believe, no, there are, every great man has gone to jail. See, Gandhi ji, maine kaha Gandhi ji was not great either. Hana, your because she hailed from village, okay, so her knowledge was that limited only. So she was after Asaram Bapu, she used to worship it, and nobody in my house used to like it. But because she was my grandmom, so neither my grandfather nor my father and uncle, nobody said anything. Worshipping Asaram Bapu and venerating him and all of that, nobody liked it. But because she was a fan, तो क्या कर सकते थे? और बाद में वो लास्ट तक वो मान ही नहीं कि क्या मतलब, even if he is arrested, he is wrong. No, she was always by her, always had his back that नहीं वो सही होगा, हर बड़ा आदमी जेल जाता है, हर अच्छे काम करने वाले को ये सारी चीजें सहनी पड़ती हैं। तो रिलीजियस गुरुज की फैन फॉलोइंग इसलिए भी है क्योंकि हम बहुत ही अनएजुकेटेड हैं। हम बहुत ही, आज सारे तांत्रिक क्यों फ्लरिश करते हैं सिर्फ इंडिया में? वो आपको कुछ एक साइंस का एक्सपेरिमेंट दिखाएंगे और आपको लगेगा कि अरे ये तो कमाल है, जादू है, बाबा को तो सिद्धि प्राप्त है, एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट नॉनसेंस। इट इज अ स्टूपिड साइंस एक्सपेरिमेंट व्हिच अ पढ़ी लिखी लिटरेट टीचर कैन डू इट इन द क्लास फॉर क्लास 1, क्लास 2 साइंस स्टूडेंट्स। But then we believe it to be magic and siddhi and all of that. तो कहीं ना कहीं हमारी एजुकेशन में प्रॉब्लम है कि हम उतने एजुकेटेड नहीं है, हम उतने अवेयर नहीं है, और हम ये सारे हैलुसिनेशंस को बिलीव करते हैं। वी आर सुपरस्टिशियस, वी आर नॉट रेडिकल, वी आर नॉट रैशनल। तो कहीं ना कहीं हमें खुद को रैशनलाइज करना आना चाहिए बिफोर बिलीविंग। क्वेश्चनिंग शुड बी द बेस। इफ यू कैन क्वेश्चन इट, it is fine. If you cannot question it and you have to silently agree to it and silently believe it, there is a problem. There is a problem. किसी भी चीज के लिए अगर आपको सवाल पूछने की आजादी नहीं है, there is a problem. Okay guys, thank you, take care and see you next week.